If we study history a little bit, we realize that history is trying to repeat itself again. Okay, in the year 2000, Olusegun Obasanjo formulated the NDDC, which is the Niger Delta Development Commission, and the main reason why it was formed was due to the socio-economic issues that was facing the Niger Delta due to oil spillage, gas flare, and pollution. Okay, for more education, it's as if the insecurity we have today, currently in the country in 2006, is as a result of the short-term solution due in the creation of NDDC, and I will explain this. After the formation of the Niger Delta Development Commission, it was solely the vision that Obasanjo was trying to get is to offer a lasting solution to the socio-economic difficulty in the Niger Delta region. Okay, this revelation is going to shock you about some certain similarities between what we have during the 2000s and currently what we have here. That was a brilliant idea to formulate the NDDC. It was a brilliant idea because it actually solved the problem, especially with the issue of the economic and the social life of the people in terms of how they organize themselves in that place. But having said that, one key factor was missing. There was idea that the people were not involved. Yes, he was trying to solve the economic problem and the social issues we have in there. Militancy increased due to the idea that they were not included. Several militant groups was formed, including the Movement of Emancipation of the Niger Delta, which is made Niger Delta People Volunteer Force, Niger Delta Vigilante, and so many other groups also was formed in this particular period of time because they feel marginalized despite the socio-economic improvement that they had at that particular period. But however, after the formation of the NDDC, 9 states were involved and huge fund was released in the year 2001, and it goes on and on. But when the militancy kept increasing due to the non-participation in this particular program, the then president in 2009, Maru Musa Yaradua, realized that the involvement of this military in the process of securing the pipeline was not feasible. Militants were dying, the military also were receiving casualties, and this led to the formation of the PAP. PAP means what? Presidential Amnesty Program. This program was set to open a corridor for which militants are going to disarm themselves and be given amnesty to resolve the issue of the people themselves. So in 2009, that particular PAP, the corridor was open between August and October. 29,000 people were involved in this particular program. And the key factor there is to form the idea of DDR. DDR means disarmament, demobilization, rehabilitation, and integration. And that was done. And it was very fun. The disarmament involved the idea that they are going to disarm themselves, all weapons down. This demobilization involved the re-establishment of the militants into giving them schools, business, traveling abroad, going to university and all that program. And that was done. And they keep paying them monthly. Brought about the idea of reintegration of these people into the society, rehabilitating them. And they are called the repentant militant. And that was really accepted as a then. But why that was and it actually brought so many peace and everything. I think after then we have relative peace in that particular region. But when that was happening, there was other group growing up, and this was a result of the formation of Boko Haram in 2009. In the process whereby Musa Yaradua was given amnesty program to the repentant militants, it's as if the northern region were actually looking at exactly what is going on. When Boko Haram was formed, the killing of Mohammed Yusuf led to the widespread of the Boko Haram activities, and then from that period we never have what is called the Boko Haram insurgency all over the country, and that continued to spread. So when that continues, and that challenge was not resolved even up to date, so they left the issue. When that was formed in 2017, to balance the idea of creating development commission, 2017, the Northwest Development Commission was formed. Northeast Development Commission was also formulated. Southeast Development Commission also was initiated to balance the equation with NDDC. Huge funds was disbursed and other things, but one thing is left out: the people. Programs were set to create jobs, to create learning centers, skills acquisition, and all that. But the same thing that was left in which the people were not involved, those who were involved in the agitation, were not involved, such as the Boko Haram, the bandits, and all that, led to this particular widespread of insurgency. And I see from what is going on, I believe the North region was so angry with what is going on in the South because more programs were formed. They feel that more programs were formed in the South compared to the North. Because at the end of the day, in 2024, we saw the formation of Tatita Security Service Nigeria Limited. What was that? Tom Kono founded the program in year 2022 or 2024 to secure the pipeline in that particular region. 44 billion annually budget was given to them, for which 4 million will be paid monthly. This is exactly what angered the people of the North, because I see huge fund was being disbursed into that particular securing of the pipeline, and the people were not involved, despite the fact that they have given amnesty program, which involved the rehabilitation and reintegration of the ex or repentant militant into the society. Do not feel agitated with that non-state actor and probably some state actor feel that the idea of PAP should be implemented in the northern region as well. This is the more reason why we have the Boko Haram and insurgency of the north, the kidnapping still going on. Now, this is exactly where the Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi comes in. His advocation was that on the idea of dialogue, say you cannot solve every problem by force. Dialogue is necessary. If you realize, a lot of military activity has been going on in the north in terms of trying to curb the idea of insecurity in the north. Just as when you have the military going to the Niger Delta in 2009, and that led to the casualty for both sides, both the military and the militants. The same thing you have whereby you have a lot of military going to the north and it involved the death of several Boko Haram, bandits, kidnappers, and some military personnel as well, and the killing and kidnapping as well going on. So, but in the case of militants, they say if the Niger Delta were granted amnesty, similar approach should be considered for those willing to surrender. So this was what he was advocating for, and because he was highlighting that the root cause of all this was poverty, lack of education, marginalization, contribute to insecurity, and should address alongside with the security operations. So this is exactly what you've seen. So for now, you will realize that despite the funding of the Northeast Development Commission and the formation of the Northwest Development Commission to counter the NDDC, there's another program they felt that should be formulated to them, and that will involve the Presidential Amnesty Program that allowed the militants in the South to have amnesty in terms of education, security, education, other programs that aid them in doing that. And this will involve them in reintegrating and re-establishing it. This is the more reason why they were saying that this Boko Haram, the president, your governor know their names, they all know their names, but nobody wants to sit in that particular dialogue table for which they know if they call for amnesty, I can guarantee you hundreds of thousands of people will be involved, and that should be cost effective for this particular government. There's more reason why negotiation was never ongoing. But what you should realize now, whatever the southern people, the southern issue was, that's exactly what was replicated in the north. So Sheikh Gumi currently wants to be replicate exactly what Tompolo is doing in the south currently with the 4 billion monthly allocation, that it needs to be replicated in the north as well. What was done in the south should be done in the north. So it's as if they are doing some settings to balance the equation. I believe this is a particular reason why that is done. But having said this, in this next lecture, I will give you data that will analyze everything to tell you that this is exactly the reason why several insecurity is going on in the country. So watch out for the next part.